Hello and welcome. My name is Darin Pepple, and welcome to the Lumix Lounge here in the beautiful Lumix Lounge at Unique Photo. With me are my guests today, Matt Sweetwood of Unique Photo, President.
Howdy, everybody.
Kristin Jensen, photographer and luminary for Panasonic, and Sean Robinson. Sean is the buyer here and the super nice, cool guy, right?
Super
is that what we said
awesome
last
guy,
time?
I think is what it was
Super
last
awesome
time,
guy?
yeah.
He's good looking, too.
He's
right?
good looking.
Good looking.
Yeah.
We have him here for his looks.
So today,
It's not funny.
today we're going to be talking about the Lumix FZ1000. So everybody knows now probably about the Lumix GH4, which is really quite famous for its 4K capabilities. But what about the rest of us? Everyone else wants to shoot 4K too, but questions of why do I need 4K and what's it going to do for me as a photographer or maybe just as a photo enthusiast? 4K is actually a photo enthusiast technology as well, and we'll explain in a little bit. But first of all, there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of numbers out there. Let's set the numbers straight. I wanted to go over a couple numbers that I've seen come in through tweets and user groups this morning. Yes, it is uncompressed HDMI. Off the HDMI, it is 8-bit 422. And if you are recording to the SD card, it does not go through the HDMI. It goes to the SD card, and it is not 422 on the SD card. I believe it's 420. So for those of you in the video world, that's some information you're looking for. No, it is not 24p. It is 30p at 4K. And yes, it is 30p 4K, 60p AVC HD, and 1080. We refer to it as QFHD. If you're very familiar with that, that is 3,840 by 2160, 30p. Big numbers here, 29.9 FPS.
Wow.
And it does do 120 FPS at 30p, so you can do the slow motion effect. Okay, those were the fun numbers.
Wait, can you wait. I missed that. Can you repeat it?
No, I cannot.
We need to nerd out a little bit more.
Wow.
So we wanted to get those numbers out of the way. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of questions coming in over the internet, and we'll try to answer them as much as possible. If you follow us on Twitter at Lumix USA, and where can we follow you guys?
You can follow us at Unique Photo on Twitter. You can certainly go to our Facebook, which is just Unique Photo, and go to uniquephoto.com.
So if you're posting information, we'll try and follow up after this broadcast and talk to everybody about it. So let's talk about why we're here. FZ1000. It is 4K, obviously. That's one of the big things. But what's changing about this that really our listeners should know about? Why is this so important to the photographic community? And I wanted to pitch this one to Matt. That's why I'm looking at you.
Yeah, it's okay. In the camera world, in the photo business, we're always looking for new innovation. Right, that's what drives the business today. You have a lot of competitors in related industries, in the smartphone industry and so on, that always talk about the next big thing and so on. Well, we need the next big thing. And so when companies like Panasonic come out and they manufacture cameras like this, it really drives interest in the photo industry. And that's what it's about. I mean, this camera is going to be better than anything that you can buy in its price range. It changes photography, right? Isn't that, I think?
That's kind of what we talk about.
Oh, right, changing photography, right?
Yeah.
Right, so you're delivering on a promise. Because, you know, like we're marketing guys.
Yeah.
So when you say, okay, changing photography, anybody can say that. But to me, a camera like this really is about changing photography.
Yeah.
Delivering 4K in an affordable format, in a format where you're going to get amazing still pictures, better than anything on a mobile device. So for me, this is what drives business. It's what drives people to, you know, our superstore here in Fairfield. It's what really we need to do in photography if we want to be around in a few years from now.
Yeah. So the rumor mill is obviously going crazy this morning. I read a lot of online stuff before coming over here this morning.
I didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
I swear I didn't do it.
You know, it's
oh, you mean camera rumors?
Camera, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
got
yeah.
it. Okay.
Your personal life.
Personal life has nothing to do with it. Okay, right, okay.
So just the raw numbers on the camera. It is a 24 to 400 zoom, f2.8 to f4. It is not constant aperture. It is variable aperture. 16x Leica. And it does have OIS. We call it hybrid OIS on 5 axes. What that really means is we've taken our camcorder technology and we've thrown the OIS technology in here. So no matter how you move, it will stabilize and it will know whether or not it's in photo mode or video mode. So it'll act accordingly. 20.1 megapixels, MOS sensor. It is a 1-inch sensor, so it's bigger than than normal. Roughly, if you want to put the numbers down to other cameras that we have, FZ200, this sensor is roughly 4 times larger than that. So you do get a considerably larger sensor. It is not micro four thirds, it's not APS-C, so it puts itself into that photo enthusiast kind of category. 4K, 2K, we mentioned about that. There something about 4K that a lot of people need to know, and will certainly help you out in the store here, is memory cards, speed class 3.
Yes.
Do you see a lot of people coming confused about that?
Yes. There's actually been a lot of people that'll come in, take a look at it, they'll purchase the camera, and then they'll go to start recording, either because they've already had cards on their from existing systems, and then all of a sudden they come in going, the camera just keeps turning off on me when I'm recording. What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do have to have a special card for it. They're all right in the same price range as regular cards.
Yeah.
You just have to look for that little U3 on the speed classification. That's what will guarantee that you can actually shoot 4K, and in the GH4, the higher bitrate 1080.
Yeah. So
really
you don't need those high-speed cards if you're going to just shoot regular photos. If you are going to go into the and really lower resolution video, but you do really need it when you're shooting 4K. So that's an important thing to know.
Yeah, I mean, the cards, as Sean pointed out, are basically the same price. So feel free to go right to uniquephoto.com and order them.
Yeah.
Right?
And it has Panasonic's DFD focusing technology, which we made famous with the GH4. And if you've seen speed tests posted on the internet, you know just how fast that is. DFD stands for depth of field defocus. So in a nutshell, what it does is it actually measures before the pictures record or the focus happens, it measures the amount of defocus in the background, brings the lens to that point very quickly in focus, and then fine-tunes from there. It's a new way of doing focusing technology that actually beats phase focus, according to a lot of websites. The only way to know it really is to stop into a store like this and try it, because when you start shooting with a camera like this and it just keeps going, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So it does have the DFD technology. It has the same viewfinder that we have in the GH4, and it has the same image processor that's in the GH4. So it's a lot of stuff from GH4. That's great. But for the rest of us, shooting, for example, like a mother or shooting as an enthusiast, now you're a mom,
right?
Are you correct?
I'm a mom, and I think that there's probably a lot of moms out there watching, and a lot of people that don't even know what 4K is and what is 4K.
Big deal, right?
Yeah. Well, I kind of look at it like this. You know, there used to be 8-track tape, and then there was cassettes, and then there was DVDs, and you know, probably 36 months from now, 4K is going to be part of our language, and we're all going to be talking about 4K. But there's a lot of people that don't even know what that is right now, and so this is revolutionary, and this is changing photography and video. And having 4K and the ability to shoot at this high definition right now is huge. So you're ahead of the curve. And the other thing that's really cool for moms, and I mean, what I want to photograph the most is my kid and my dog. What else do I want to photograph? That's what I love, right? You know, my family and my dog.
What about me?
Well, and you too.
Right,
I mean, you're my, well, I don't know, a kid, my son or you, I don't know. It's a tough choice. But and the other thing that I love, because I was out photographing my son just a few days ago at the baseball field, and basically I whip out my camera and everybody's like, what camera do you have? I want to buy it. Is that I can shoot video, and I can also shoot a perfect still image. In other words, I don't have to switch, get another camera, change it, or
go back and forth.
Darn, you know, that would have been a great image. Or how do I switch back to a still do a video and a still? No, I can be shooting video, and right in my camera can play back the video and make a still image out of it.
You know, we call that hybrid photography, and for many people that are probably not just coming to that terminology for the first time, hybrid photography is a seamless blending of video and still. Whether you do it with software at home, after you post capture, you add audio to it, create a slideshow, maybe created Flixels, you've heard of those. You post it online. Really, it's meant for the next generation of photographer that posts stuff on the internet for social media, web pages, and even for the professional that creates stuff for their clients. Let's face it, video is becoming part of photography, and that's the next thing. That's what's changing. And so for a lot of people, video is sort of that, in the photo world, sort of a dirty word. It's not photography, right? we at Panasonic disagree. We think video is part of photography now, and that's how we feel it's changing, and that's how we come up with the terminology hybrid. The problem is, with a DSLR, it's impossible. Let's face it. If you have a DSLR, you do the mirror lock-up thing, you lose your autofocus control. It takes 3 hands to operate the zoom, the focus, all these things.
Giant rigs.
Giant rigs.
Yeah. That's what everybody tells me.
Doesn't
Everybody
work.
says, I bought a camera. I don't know how to use it.
Right.
It's just, you know, I look cool.
Yeah.
I'm standing there with a big old camera, but I can't. I don't know how to use it.
Right.
I mean,
so shooting stills, yep, every camera does it. It's supposed to do it, right? But not every camera does video well. So why does an enthusiast really care about 4K here anyway? Really, I mean, it's an interesting technology. There aren't a whole lot of places to view it. You can't view it online really unless you have a really fancy computer. You can view it on the back of your camera, but how does that really matter to the consumer, right? So, Sean, I bet a lot of people come into the store saying, saw that 4K thing, I'm just more interested in the still feature, right?
Yeah.
What are you telling them about 4K right now?
So the kind of first like real point that always gets brought up is, you know, we're looking at these cameras and really, why not? If everything else that we buy is always, oh, it's got this, I don't know if I'm ever going to use that, and it's acceptable everywhere else, why can't it be acceptable here?
Right.
Well, why can't you just say, all right, well, my camera has it. Cool. But when you explain to them about how, well, okay, 4K video, you get a much higher resolution still out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, was it 1080 was 2 megapixel?
Right.
4K's 8.
Right.
I mean, I remember shooting with an 8 megapixel camera and still getting perfectly great results out of it for client work.
Yeah.
You know, that impossible shot that you can't get shooting stills during a wedding.
Yeah.
You just throw the thing on 4K on a video recording in 4K, and okay, so I didn't get the still at say 20 megapixel, but I got it at 8. 8 still makes a great print.
Right.
Still makes a
8's
great impression online. 8's great, yeah.
You know, let me just add to that, though. That's you're talking about a wedding. I mean, in your example, where you're shooting your son playing baseball, instead of trying to shoot a still and catch that moment right when the bat's meeting the ball, you just take 10 seconds of video, and I guarantee you one of those frames in there is going to be there in a high-quality
image.
image.
It's almost like I could just shoot video.
That's right.
The whole time and not even worry about shooting the still, because I can always grab the
That's right,
still
and you don't have to worry about missing that shot. I mean, how many times, you know, he plays baseball, I know, right? So you're trying to catch just the right moment, and you're sitting there firing away, and it's just going to very simply hold the camera still.
I mean, photographing an animal, like your dog, not easy. Not an easy thing.
Right, and so you just take a few seconds of video, and sure enough, there'll be a frame in there.
Yeah.
You know what? We just did this out front of the store here. There's an American flag on the back of the camera here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll put this cup down. Basically, on the back of the camera, you want to learn about what hybrid photography really is all about. You see the play video. If we hit this play, you can see the flag moving. I don't know how well you can see that. This is was recorded in 4K. So that's all interesting, but if I pause the video, I can step through the motions of the flag moving very, very finely. You can see that. Pick the one I like. I like that one. No, I do not. I want to get it a little more further out. It's all folded up. I think you get the picture, right? I can hold it down. It can keep going.
The choices are infinite.
The choices are infinite. You know, this is 30 frames every second. So you get to where you want to be. I like the way that's furled. You can see here it says save. I press the center button to save. Say yes or no. Yes, I do. 8 megapixels has just been saved. So if you've ever shot something that moves like that, or something that happens in real life, it's really hard to get the moment on the shutter button.
You know, what my favorite example of that is, and I really want to get that for the store, is the lightning storm.
The lightning storm. Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's like when you have a lightning storm, try to get the shot with the actual bolt of lightning coming down.
Well,
right?
that's spending tons of money on audio triggers, light triggers.
Here you can take a camera, which is well under $1,000.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
How much?
$899.
$899.
Yeah.
And you can take some 4K video, and it's almost a guarantee in one of those frames you're going to get the magic shot with the lightning bolts and all of the things that happens.
It also reminds me back when photography was just starting, there was a photographer that was trying to capture the motion of a horse. And it just doing this just reminded me of it. And for the life of me, my teachers are going to scream at me for not remembering the name of the photographer.
Yeah.
But the only way that they could figure out how a horse gallops, and if all 4 hooves are off the ground at once, was by recording a short video.
Yeah.
Stills at the time, and the way they were able to actually tell how the horse moves to actually at this point to disprove paintings of how horses move was by flipping through these stills, which were captured as a video, and then there it was, that one frame showed all 4 hooves up. I mean, it's amazing how this is new, but you know, this isn't new technology. This is something that we've naturally thought of doing.
Yeah.
As a way to capture something, just now we have it refined. We have a tool that's perfect.
So why not just turn on the burst shooting? You know, some of these cameras are like, they're rocket fast, right? I mean, bang, 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 bang. They just fire away, right? But that's still not 30 frames a second. No.
Yeah.
Right. That's
you still have buffer limits. You still have just
right. Yeah. You know, Kristin, I wanted. By the way, this is the flag. This is the flag that one of our photographers took out front. So pretty sharp. 8 megapixels, but you've got a cute little puppy.
Yeah.
Doesn't always have to move fast, right? But with animals, there's these subtle expressions that happen, for example, right?
Well,
how do you get that?
Well, it's like animals if you say look at the camera.
Yeah.
They usually don't.
Right. They don't. They don't listen, right?
You have to hold a treat or something in front of the leg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dogs don't
stop panting.
act on cue very well.
Yeah. So what's really cool about this is that you don't have to do your post-production. You don't have to go back to your computer and try to find a program to make this
expensive programs, right? It's not. It's not. And then learn how to use it, right?
What's the most awesome thing is that you can do it right on your camera. And I know you just showed everybody, but I had a video. I don't know if you guys can see this or even want to see it. I mean, you just walk,
I want to see the cute puppy.
Yeah, if you just want to see the puppy. So the puppy's moving. There he is. He's moving. He's moving along, and I wanted to grab the picture, right? So
you just freeze frame it
for a second. I freeze frame it.
Yeah.
Freeze framed it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I wanted to make it a JPEG.
Yeah.
So we went to go print it, and I was absolutely blown away.
Check this out.
At how sharp the print was.
Oop.
And how it turned out.
Hold it up.
Check that out.
I think they would rather see the puppy than me anyway. So.
Just look. I mean, you can see the detail in the hair.
Look at that.
Rock sharp, right? Even the detail in the molding in the background.
You would never ever be able to do that in video.
Yeah.
I mean, even 2 years ago, a year ago, if you tried to take a still frame from a video, it
was soft. It wasn't sharp. Something else that's interesting when we do this, and thank you, is that when you're shooting and you're going back and forth between stills and video. Now you don't always have to record 4K. You can just take stills, right? As you're recording video, you can even just hit the shutter button and say, I just want that one moment in time. Whether you're 2K or 4K, it doesn't matter. So why not shoot video? I'm always asking people nowadays that kind of challenge me on 4K. Why do I need it? Why do I care? The President of the United States is going to walk through the door in a heartbeat, right? And he's going to walk in, wave to everybody, and go out another door. Are you going to get it with click, click, click? Maybe, if you're really good and you're really practiced at it. But if you're average Joe, me and you on the street.
And it's the other issue too, the expense of the equipment. That photographer shooting the president has how much money's worth of equipment.
Good
We're
flashes,
sitting here with,
everything,
an $899 camera that you can do this. To me, it's always about the money when it comes down to it, right? With enough money, you can do almost anything.
That's right.
Yeah. But this is an affordable camera that a regular enthusiast
it's a smarter purchase for.
That's right.
You know, the equivalent system to get something that, just like for the situation you're talking about, you know, you're buying a top of the line DSLR, you're buying the best lenses you can get, something out to 400 millimeter. You know, you're spending a couple grand easily for something that's
4K,
even in that area that can do 4K, and actually you're spending into the tens of thousands to do 4K at that point outside of the Lumix systems.
And if you wanted to do a PC that you couldn't do it because you couldn't do it in their camera, it makes it
this
easy.
camera, I mean, just compared to the other FZ cameras, just to take it out and just shoot pictures.
Yeah,
it is tack sharp. I've printed with it. I mean, the prints are gorgeous. It's so fast. The lens is fast.
Oh yes.
And it's rapid speed. I mean, if you want a fast camera, this camera can do it. And I would say, just to pack this, I throw it in my bag. It's super light.
Yeah.
It's a point and shoot. It's super light. It would take probably 6 lenses.
Yeah.
That I would have to pack with me in my bag.
Yeah.
And I can just have this.
Right. That says something because it's an all-in-one, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about which lens you got to grab to bring with you. It does macro photography. It's up to, I think, 3 centimeters, I believe.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Crazy features that all the FZs have had forever.
I love garden photography and taking, pictures of flowers.
Something else is nature photographers are really going to love this thing. Yeah. Now, we always, you take a picture of that bird going into the birdhouse. If you're nearby, it never shows up. You need the long lens, but you want some interesting effects, so you got to get the camera close. Just set the camera up on a pole and a stick on the end of a ladder. It has Wi-Fi. So there's a Wi-Fi app called the Panasonic Image app that you can put on your are you hooked up to it? No.
I am. I actually do have. You know what I was doing right there?
That, yeah.
I just thought of something really appropriate for that. 4K video changes still photography.
That does.
Right? So that's really should be the thing, right? 4K video changes still photography. I'm tweeting it.
Oh, okay.
At
you're our social media
guy.
guru.
At M Sweetwood, I'm tweeting right now. I took a picture of that and
but you can put that camera in remote control and see on your smartphone what it sees, both in video and still, capture it from your phone. So you could be off to the side somewhere out of view.
Yeah, and from working here at Unique Photo, it's been one of the kind of coolest things to watch transition, since I'm also one of the instructors here for the one-on-one programs. Is we've started to see more cameras come out with Wi-Fi and tethered shooting, things like that.
We should hook it up.
And I'd say at least 3 or 4 times a month, I have a class where someone says, hey, I just bought this new Lumix camera. I want to learn how to set up with my phone or my iPad. I'm going on a trip. I want to be able to save this. And, depending on what they're shooting, if they're Android, it's the easiest. I mean, you just take the thing. I think it's it's on the bottom here. And I mean, there, you're linked. Watching someone learn that for the first time and see how I can just tap on the phone,
the
tap
NFC
to
technology.
focus, the whole setup, controlling the camera, shooting videos, your stills, you're focusing. It's such a cool new thing to have in these cameras.
Yeah.
That it seems so simple, but it's like just wow. I mean that changes how you can use your camera just on that alone.
And that's what you would love. Because then you've got you're doing your social media with really high.
Right, that's right, with a high quality thing, which is what you're always fighting for, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Particularly when you're in the camera business and you do it with a smartphone, people are like, "Don't you own a camera?" Right, right. And so to be able to take that amazing, once in a lifetime, or that special shot in social media for me is.
Yeah, you blow everybody away on Instagram.
That's right, absolutely.
I was in Disney recently, and that's what I was doing. I was using the zoom range of my point and shoot, and tweeting everything out to my friends and everything through my phone,
right?
Just by connecting it. So we talked a lot about 4K. We talked a lot about video. So there are still a lot of people out there that just want a really good camera for taking pictures.
Right.
And I should point out that if you are thinking about 4K as a photographer and you're not really sure why you would want it or whatever, you can also think of 4K video as sort of the raw file format of your stills, because you store it for now, right? You keep it, put it aside. Maybe I'll need it later. Maybe I won't. You can kind of think of it like that because it's got the extra resolution you can go back to. And a 4K video down-resed to 1080 is stunning. I don't know if you've ever done it. It is far better than actually just recording in 1080.
Yeah, we have some wedding shooters that come into the store. They come in and they talk about it. They use the GH4 for this, and they talk about it produces the best 1080p they've seen.
So back to the photographers. What's in this camera for the photographer? Well, it does shoot RAW. It does shoot a 12-frame burst mode. There are creative effects in here. So there are filters in here that you can use to add some uniqueness to the photo, either before you take it and or after you've taken it, both in panorama and in traditional size. It has a control ring on the front. This control ring right here, as you can see, controls both the zoom and or the focus, flipping back and forth. You can just control however you want it. If you can control the zoom from here, or you can set it to just go into focus mode, as well as the zoom is controlled up here. Let's look at some other things. If you're shooting RAW, and we all know that RAW file processing at home can be a bit of a bummer, and if you've only shot in RAW and you all of a sudden are asked to send out a JPEG, what can you do? You can process the JPEG in the camera, right? So that's one feature that it has, and you can control the highlight and shadows, the traditional curves, in the camera. Yeah. And you can do all of that really very simply and very quickly. So the camera itself has now become the PC. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, no more expensive PCs. Yes, you can save the raw file for later. You can save the 4K video for later and output down-res it. You can output it with prints, and it's an amazing workhorse machine. Yeah. I also wanted to take a look at. There's a lot of competition in this in this world for what they call bridge cameras. Bridge cameras are really meaning that the lens is part of the camera and that it has a very long range zoom on it, so that it's kind of an all-in-one camera. There is competition out there. Let's just put it on the table. The RX-10. Where are we against RX-10? We have a 1-inch sensor. They have a 1-inch sensor. They have 20 megapixels. We have 20 megapixels. They have 2.8 straight through on an 8.3 roughly X lens.
Yep.
We are not 2.8 straight through. We are 2.8 variable aperture to f4.
Yep.
Okay, if you wanted the variable aperture, or if you wanted the straight through aperture, interesting choice. We have double the zoom range. We're 16x. They're roughly 8.3x. Yeah. On the EVF on the back, we're almost double the resolution. We're 2359. They're 1440. So when you look through the lens, you're going to see a much clearer image. We both have Wi-Fi. We're $899. They're what, $1,300.
13 and change. Yep.
Yeah. So you get less zoom, more aperture, for a lot more expense.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of where we're at against them. We have 4K. They do not. They only have 2K. We have 49 focus points in the focusing mechanism. There are 25 areas. So a lot more opportunity in the focusing control. So if you wanted to compare and contrast them, you can read about it online. I'm sure there's a ton of people arguing over this issue this morning.
Extensively.
Extensively. Right. One of the things we see is the background defocus. Sean, I know you were playing with this earlier today. Does it have background defocus?
Yeah. One of the biggest, I want to say, aggravating points that I read online is how everyone's like, oh, you've 400 millimeter, it's really not an f4, because they're really looking at 35 millimeter equivalent and everything. I mean, come on. There has to be a point where we're looking at all of these numbers and we're just beating our heads against a wall.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, through the lens.
You come in, okay, so the lens is letting in f4 light.
F4 is F4
through an aperture.
Light,
it's
no matter what.
Yeah, it's a constant.
The meters would lie, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that changes there.
Yeah.
Take a look at it. Zoom this thing out to 400. I mean, we were just playing before.
Yeah.
400 millimeter. Looking at the camera here with a couple of the guys behind it.
Yeah.
They're so far out of focus.
Right.
And it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, when the camera was brought to us a little while ago, and they showed us some of the samples, they had printed samples that I think you can actually see online. Some of the other guys that have done reviews on it, they've shown these photos. Just how the out of focus area looks, the bokeh, how it looks compared to this, from this, a 7100, a 5D, an RX-10, and just this thing, looking at those photos, I mean, it's full frame style out of focus.
Yeah.
Quality.
See, and once again, it's the price. Remember, let's get to the price. It's an $899 camera. The cameras you just mentioned in kits are thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, Kristin, I know you took some baseball pictures.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Can we show those pictures online after this, if you have opportunity?
Oh, I'd love to show you.
So what we'll do is we'll load them up on Facebook and send them over to Sean here, and people can see for themselves what the camera really does.
And you know what, people and amateurs always ask me about that.
Yeah.
How can I get that look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want my pictures to look like that. This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put them up on the Unique Photo Facebook for you later.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think I just saw something this just before we went live here. I was looking on. I think it was one of the rumor sites was they had the big headline: "Is the FZ1000 the camera to buy?" Like not like the super zoom or the mirrorless camera or just any of those categories. It was is this the camera to buy?
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope so.
Oh yeah,
Keeps me in business.
Me too.
A couple other numbers: 100 megabits at 4K, so that's a lot of data. It has the zebra pattern technology. It has center marker technology. It has hue adjustment and cinema-like gamma control. So for those of you that go beyond photography and really into videography, those are the numbers you probably want to hear.
Mixes perfectly in with a GH4 as your primary. Grab one of these guys as the second one.
We have the specs up on our site, right?
Oh, yeah.
On this, right. So if you go to uniquephoto.com.
I wanted to note that if you wanted, you know, it has a built-in flash.
Yes, good point. Yeah. So it does have a built-in flash. And obviously, right? It has the hot shoe on top, which you can mount one of our flashes, or you can mount our shotgun mic. The mic has a port on the side that you can put right on the side there. Over here, excuse me, on this side. Mic goes in here, remote control goes in on that side, HDMI comes out on that side. HDMI, I think they call it HDMI micro.
Yep.
So, and all the controls and bells and whistles that you'd want to have on a camera right at your fingertip. Control back here, zoom up here, all the dials, focus and burst rate, excuse me.
Burst rate
modes,
time lapse,
timers,
which I think is amazing that they've taken
out
that
from LCD,
swivels, right?
Swivel. So it allows you to shoot from wherever you want to shoot.
Yeah.
The viewfinder is eye controlled, so it turns off the LCD and turns on this simply by placing it up to your face, or you can adjust it manually from here. Bells and whistles galore. I think we've answered just about all the things about it.
When is it going to be available?
So you'll look for it in the stores. I'm sure you're taking pre-orders today, right?
Yep.
We are, absolutely.
You can look for it in the stores physically in roughly the end of July. So not too far away.
Yeah.
That's about 45 days roughly. So
something like that, yeah.
If you're jonesing to see it, come into the store. We'll start sending out sample units to retailers very soon. And if you spot one of our luminaries, they'll probably have one in their hands. So ask them. Feel free to send tweets asking questions. We'll try to get to answer as many as we can. We have our Facebook account, which is Panasonic, Facebook/Lumix USA, Twitter @LumixUSA, and where can we reach you? Again, let's just give that one more time.
We'll go through the whole list. We're obviously uniquephoto.com. We have uniquephoto.com/Lumix Lounge too, where actually everybody's viewing this. The camera's actually up on the bottom of the page. If they scroll down from the video they're looking at right now, they can see that.
That site will always have the most up-to-date information about all these cameras, anything new and exciting that we're doing together. So
that's uniquephoto.com/Lumix Lounge. We have at uniquephoto.com on Twitter, facebook.com/uniquephoto for uniquephoto. I tweet about this stuff a lot. I'm at M Sweetwood, and I'm M Sweetwood everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And
Kristin, where can we follow you?
You can find me at KristinJensen.com. You can find me at LumixLounge.com.
That's true.
And Facebook is Kristin Jensen Facebook. You can find me at Kristin's Vision on Twitter.
And if you're looking for more information on hybrid photography or to follow any of our luminaries, check us out on LumixLounge.com. It is the home of hybrid photography. And as we mentioned earlier, hybrid is simply the next generation and the next thing in photography. And thank you for that. We'll see you all the next time we launch a camera.
At the next major thing.
That's right. Well, that's what we built it for, right? We built it for this.
Well, actually, we will see everybody again during the Unique Photo Expo.
Yes.
Great. That's right.
Good plug.
You want to fill us all in on that?
Right. So we have our big photo show here, the big expo, which is June 27th, 28th, and 29th.
And we'll be sure that you have that camera here.
Right. We'll have that camera here. Basically, everybody's going to be here. We have over 50 vendors running the university all weekend. Who do we have from you? Who's going to be here from you guys? Who do we have from Panasonic?
I believe there's a Rick Garrity.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah,
Rick
well-known here.
Rick,
he's standing over.
Rick's going to be here. He's off camera.
Rick's
Here he comes.
Streak through the screen.
Yes.
Right. So what are you doing at our expo? You're running an underground mine tour. Okay. The underground mine, and we're doing a car and biker on the front lawn.
Very cool.
Right. So please come to the expo. You can find information, sign up for free, uniquephoto.com. Of course, again, it's really an amazing event. We have thousands of people here over the weekend. You were great, Rick. That was a cameo, a Rick Garrity cameo.
And also, can I just plug the lifestyle store you have built for us here? The Panasonic Lifestyle Store is in Unique Photo. We're just using a little bit of the Lumix Lounge area of it, but we have a lot of stuff for you to see here. Massage chairs. You got to try this thing out.
Oh, yeah.
Stereo
Next time I'm
systems,
sitting in the
headphones.
massage chair while we do this.
That would be an awesome. We should do it from everybody in a massage chair next time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just as long as I get to take it home when we're done.
Okay, you got it.
I mean, I can make space.
So come into the store and check out. There's a lot more here than just cameras. You'd be really shocked and surprised. It's an amazing place to see. So with that, thank you and good afternoon.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.